Welcome back. We're into scene 4 of this project. In this one, yeah, it hits a little different. We're up in the second floor loft, and the shooting style here was a bit more frantic, more reactive, but as with the rest of the project, we shot this entirely on the red V-Raptor X, paired with the DZO Arles lenses, mostly wide open at t1.4. We used the Breakthrough Cinema DFM variable ND to stay flexible as we adjusted our exposure on the fly. We're still working with a small crew, still protecting the subject's identity, but this time we leaned harder into contrast, movement, and mood. The loft space, it brought its own quirks, but the goals remain the same. Build atmosphere, stay efficient, shoot with intention. But let's walk through how we approached it. This was our last scene of the day at this location, so unfortunately I don't have much in the way of BTS yet again, as by this time it was getting pretty late into the evening, but I'll try to break it down based on a mix of what BTS we have along with the final images. This was a cool loft area with some funky ceiling angles, so we just embraced it. Once we got the blocking figured out though, we noticed that the background, it was falling off in the complete darkness, so we added a soft uplight, just enough to lift the space just a bit. In terms of lighting, we had 2 more Aputure B7c bulbs playing in the lamps, and our key, it was the Aputure 80C running at 6000 Kelvin and 100%, and it was being pushed through a 6x6 frame of artificial silk. The camera, it was set to 3600 Kelvin to really accentuate that cold feel of the scene, really leaning into that isolation that the talent is feeling. And from there, we just ran through a bunch of different angles and actions for the talent, trying to find some shots that would really lean into the vibe of this scene. So that wraps up scene 4. This one really pushed us into a slightly different rhythm, more frantic, more contrast heavy, more emotionally charged in terms of look. Working in a loft space, it brought its own quirks, but that's just part of the process, right? Shaping whatever space you've got into something that feels right for the story. By the time we wrapped, it was close to 10 p.m. and yeah, tear down and load out were still ahead of us. Long day, but a solid one. We covered a lot of ground, managed to knock out 5 or 6 setups at a single location, which is amazing. And there's still a couple quick setups we haven't covered from this location that I might just bundle together, or perhaps we'll just move on to the next 2 locations from this particular production. And we've been kicking around some other release ideas, maybe a real-time production live stream or something more interactive. And no, we have not forgotten about the gear giveaways. We're just sorting out the logistics. If you've got ideas for that or questions about this breakdown series or anything else, just drop them in the comments down below. I really appreciate your watching, and I'll talk to you soon.